This is Stephanie, and this is the Mocha Minutes Podcast. Hey guys, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to let you know about something that's a little new here at the Mocha Minutes Podcast. We are now participating in Buy Me a Coffee. So if you haven't heard, buymeacoffee.com is a place where you can show some support and some love monetarily to some of your favorite content creators. That includes me. So it's in the increments of either $1, $3, or $5, and you can do as many as you would like. So I just wanted to let you guys know, would love some support. So if you would go to buymeacoffee.com/Mocha Minutes, I would greatly appreciate it. It will also be in the show notes. Okay, here we go. I would like to get to know if I could be the kind of girl that you could be down for. 'Cause when I look at you, I feel something tell me that you're the kind of guy that I should make a move on. And if I don't let you know, then I won't be for real. I could be wrong, but I feel like something could be going on. The more I see you, the more that it becomes so true. There ain't no other for me, it's only you. I wanna be down with what you're going through. I wanna be down. I wanna be down with you, no matter the time of day or night. It's true. I wanna be down. Hello, welcome to the Mocha Minutes Podcast. This is Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me. Whew. What a time to be alive. This weekend and for the last week, a lot has been going on since I was last on the mic. I gave a preamble or a pregame, even though this is like after the fact, or what we're going to be talking about today. On my last episode, I said, let's just talk about one part of the discourse before we actually talk about the interview. And there's literally, in my mind, no one better to talk to about this other than my good friend, my sweetness, my cookie pop, Miss Cook from the HIGHly Inappropriate Podcast. Hey, Cook.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. It's like, mind you, we had on the docket the interview, and then Drake fucked around and found out. I said, girl, what is this? I was like, what is this? I was like, see, the thing about it is, y'all, okay. Actually, let me do this. Boom. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Technical difficulty because Stephanie difficulty. Anyway, when it comes to the hippity hops, when I tell you, I reach out to other people and go, girl, what is this? Girl, what's the And so I reach out to people like Cook, who be like, girl, it's a lot. So Cook, it's I now want to find out Kendrick's astrological sign, because I'd be like, I feel like that would make so much sense.
Kendrick Lamar is a Gemini.
Oh hell. Okay. Well. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Oh boy. Wait, is he a May or a June?
Now that part I'm not clear on, but I said it. I was like, this nigga did so good. I said, damn, I can't even slander Geminis this season. And you know, that's like my favorite time of the year.
You know it is. I know it is. You're like,
Here come them silver cap bandits.
It's always a good time to slander a air sign. Except Libras, don't do that. Thank you. Except Libras, don't do that. Especially October Libras. Or Libras that's born on October 12th. Yeah, don't do that.
It's specific. It's a specific brand of Libra.
It's very specific.
So what you want to know?
Did it catch you off surprise, like cut you off guard, Kendrick? But I know it did. But was it a happy off guard?
Well, see, here's the thing. Real Kendrick Lamar fans have been waiting for this for 10 years.
Ooh.
This has been going on for a while. And I've been said it. I said it when it first came out. I was like, you don't control.
Oh, okay.
Because it was funny. I had to go. Akeem, shout out to Akeem. He reminded me that Drake has been getting called out for years. It's just that most of the people, because he was so popular, everybody was like, "Oh, you an old nigga, you washed, you don't matter, you're not relevant, blah 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 blah." But no, Common cussed Drake out, and Drake lost. Common did him like he did Ice Cube, honestly. And if you need to go back and listen to that one, go ahead. It's on YouTube.
Wow.
Then Chris had to go at Big Sean and Drake and cuss both them out. And I forgot all about that. Because when they kept doing that triplet flow, they were all going, Big Sean and Drake, I think, were going back and forth about who invented it. And everybody was like, Ludacris was rapping like that in 98. What is y'all talking about? And then, of course, we know Pusha T cussed him the fuck out.
Oh, yeah.
And viciously. And I'm sorry, but he lost that. Everyone knows he lost that. But somehow his popularity really let him ride that wave past it. And then someone said, like he called in, like, I think he called in a favor from Jay Prince or something, like to have a sit down.
Yeah, because then he say, like, we're not going to do this. Nope. Stay, like, nope. Nope, we're not gonna do this.
Investment, and everybody's trying to protect their investments. Because I remember when Ice Cube and Common got into it, Farrakhan had to step in.
Wow!
So that was like a thing. And then, of course, the real catalyst to what we're witnessing now is his. If y'all not ready to give Meg her flowers,
okay,
you need to, because honestly, I saw someone say it on TikTok, and this is what I believe too, but it is just a theory. But I believe when his came out, we all know Drake, most of that was really for Drake. We know who she was talking about. I think she gave minimal lip service to Nicki, like, when I speak, don't think we competing. That was for Nicki, like, we're not competing, because she was like, I'll dust you off lyrically. And it's a fact, she would. I don't care what nobody say. And so it just seems like Drake, being in women's business, was like, "Oh, you gonna let her say that about you? You gonna let her say that line about you, the Maker's Law line?" And I was like, "Baby, what we learned about OVO this weekend, that line was for you." Actually, it was for all. It was all for Young Money. Because a lot of them niggas, everybody started digging through the tweets and all that shit started coming out. Drake was in Billie Eilish face. He was in Millie Bobby Brown phase.
What?
And some other people I learned about, honey. He was, because Drake was like 32 and Millie Bobby Brown
that's the one I knew about until I saw a thread on Twitter where people were like listing all these other younger people. I'm like, sir, you're a grown ass man.
Was like, Drake is weird, and then he bullied her and trying to retract that statement, but she came out and was like, yeah, that nigga weird.
Right, because it was kind of like, when it happened, it's like, sir, Millie Brown, I'm like, unless you're asking her for like details on next season, what the heck are you DMing? And even then, I'm pretty sure Winona Ryder's DMs are open.
Listen, it was immediately, for a lot of people, like, that's inappropriate.
Completely.
And I never let it go. A lot of motherfuckers never let that shit go. We've been giving him a side eye. It's just that everybody just was so willing to overlook everything. And then it was just kind of like listening to Kendrick's lyrics. It was just kind of like I knew it was going to be good. I knew whatever it was. I was like, we're going to be great. We're going to get some great rhymes. It's going to be great,
honey.
But I didn't know Kendrick was going to go dark, and he did. And I was like, this
he
is the
went
time Kendrick
so dark. I said, oh, he hates you.
When he said it though, I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the way that you sleep. I was like, honey, when he started that part, I was fist pumping like a champ, like, yeah, like, yeah, like, yeah, like, I was like, damn. But when he said, you better walk around like Daft Punk, I was at work like, you better walk around like Daft Punk. I
said, girl, I said, I'm like, how to come back from that? And then the stuff that he did, it seems like, mind you, I'll be quite honest, I've not listened to like Drake's responses. I'm like, yeah, I don't care what you got to say. That man literally dusted your ass off.
I have to go back now and listen to First Person Shooter because I don't listen to Drake, J. Cole, or Drake. And then did that album, Her Loss, with 21. I listen to 21 all the time. I didn't listen to it. I've been waiting for some with 21 verses, and then I listen to that shit. But otherwise, no. People's reaction to it was enough for me because I don't think they really understood. Like, people have been kind of peeping for a while. Like, why is he talking about Serena and Halle? Like, why we got problems with these people? Why is he even doing that? Because number one, near 40. Number two, we don't like that kind of shit. These are our beloved African American stars and heroes you're talking to.
And the thing about girl, when it's like y'all didn't peep how quick Rihanna was like, boy, get away from me. And she like literally, she acts like she has not made any music with this man. It's like, okay, girl.
She does like, nigga, you weird. And the thing about it is like somebody else pointed it out, but they were like, Drake is conventionally, considered conventionally handsome, rich, but no established woman in the entertainment business will give him the time of day because he was in Bella Hadid face. Was in there's another girl. She's like a YouTuber. He was in her face when she was underage. All of this shit is literally documented. He tweets everything. And they've been putting Twitter up, and it's like, bro, like he had a picture of himself and Karl Malone up. And that's why he said, I'm gonna pass the body like Stockton. I cackled because I immediately started thinking about Karl Malone impregnating that 13-year-old when he was in his 20s and not taking care of the damn baby. I was like, oh yeah, baby, you have a pattern.
And then I mean, like literally, like it makes me think of Serena Williams. I'm like, Drake, listen to this. She didn't even want to claim you. She did not claim you. How many other niggas did she claim? And you were Drake when this happened. And she still was like, sit over there.
Right. You were in her face. And she was just like,
she was like, I mean, I'm like, if you dropping off grip dick, that's cool. But yeah, no, you're not coming to these events with me.
Like, I'm already excellent, babe. They're here to see me, not you. I don't
She's fucking Serena Williams.
Right. Like, I don't compete with my boyfriends.
At all. And they know how to play the position. It's like as much as Common is literally community dick, he knew how to play. He knows how to play his position. I will give Common that.
Yeah, and I think some of Common's beef with Drake was behind Serena. And the interesting thing on First Person Shooter, he was coming at Kendrick, and he's been throwing jabs at Kendrick for a while. And Kendrick's been throwing jabs at him because when they were in the cipher for the BET Hip Hop Awards, that whole verse Kendrick dropped was about Drake, and he cussed him out then, like, I can't stand you. He was like, I can't stand your ass, and he was like, I see. Because, from what people are saying is that Drake has always kind of thought he was better than Kendrick and didn't want to give Kendrick his props. And, my thing is like, this nigga is a Pulitzer Prize winning.
That man has a Pulitzer Prize. How many other niggas
I don't think he was trying to get a Pulitzer.
I don't think he was.
That's how talented
it came out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, he got a Pulitzer Prize? I'm like, oh.
And he was like, damn, nigga, go ahead, go off. And we always talk about Kendrick's Pulitzer. Like, that's huge. We respect that shit. Because I'm like, so all great MCs are poets, honestly.
Correct.
All of
them. At least they should be.
Writing poetry. I mean, it's the truth. Nas will tell you. Most Def will tell you. Karis. One will tell you like they all started like it's some type of creative writing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what it is. And I'm glad that people really like I mean, I know people were like, Kendrick stands again on my nerves because they keep talking about these entendres and they keep blah blah blah. Drake literally said, go make quadruple entendres that I can't understand. Drake told you right there he's stupid.
Hold on. And
He's dumb. He's stupid.
Right. And so the other thing is like, for the folks that are the Drake, because I mean, they're like, Kendrick fans are a mess. I'm like, some of the Drake ones are too, because if y'all are trying to, and it's like, Kendrick kind of lay pretty low, but the one common theme I keep seeing is like, y'all standing for him, but Kendrick said he'd pull all his music off of Spotify if you vote R. Kelly, and I was like, that's literally the only thing that y'all have. And let's be very clear. Him pulling his music because he liked R. Kelly music is not equal to literally Drake talking to every like little white girl that's under 18.
But that's the point. That's not what Kendrick didn't do that. First of all, somebody TDE sent a letter to Spotify because they were going to take down XXXTentacion's music. And someone from TDE, which is Kendrick's label, was like, do that. We're going to pull Kendrick's music. So they came back and was like, we've reviewed our policy. And yes, we agree. It is vague. The policy was they're going to remove people who have done violence, committed, bad things, whatever. So they were like, while we are not going to pull it this time and we're going to review our policy and refine it, we're still committed to not enabling people who do bad things and, blah, blah, blah. And they said, and because of that, we're not putting R. Kelly's music back on Spotify. So R. Kelly's music was already off Spotify.
Oh.
Already off Spotify, and it's still off Spotify to this day. That's not what it was. And that's kind of like the issue. The first thing Kendrick said when he opened up, when he was dissing him, he was like, you are a master manipulator. You're an actor. And then as the battle progressed, he was like, you a liar.
Well, I'm glad. Thank you for clearing that up, because that literally was that was the common thing I kept seeing. I'm like, oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's a lot of misinformation out there because, again, Drake lacks comprehension, and it's like even the song is so interesting because when Drake says something like, especially with the battle, how things are going, like, this is the Twitter age. These are fucking detectives online.
Hello?
They will find any goddamn thing. Just like they thought they found that 11-year-old girl. Now, does it line up with what's being said? Honey, I'm going to say this. I think the nigga got all kinds of kids all over the place.
Hello?
Low key. Because let's keep it real fucking funky. If Pusha T never told us about Adonis, we were never going to hear about that.
He was never going to let us in on it. It's kind of
and him having it tied to an Adidas campaign was only because, that's what he was supposed to do. And Kanye, and another thing to clear up, Kanye West did not tell Pusha T about Adonis. Apparently 40 from OVO was pillow talking with some broad and was just running his mouth spilling the tea.
Oh,
I think that is like when he's like, yeah, because the weekend was on We Still Don't Trust You, and he was because they did to him the whole song. And the weekend was on it, just singing his little heart out about like, I'm glad I didn't sign with y'all some niggas. He was like, we laugh at you in the Ferrari, like you a joke, and he was like, y'all camp leak, and the weekend said your camp's got leaks. Meaning y'all are some cornball niggas. And y'all be pillow talking, running your mouth.
Okay. They do.
And everybody know your business.
They do.
So it's just kind of like
when that leg locks and all of a sudden them lips get loose.
I knew. So just like, yeah, he's been really sloppy, and it's easy to diss him. And I knew he didn't have it in him because honestly, I never really believed in him. I just let him cook because I was like, I was like, he's harmless. He's corny, but he's harmless. But after a while, it was like, something ain't right with that nigga. Like, it ain't. And so, but when Rick Ross called him a white boy, and he texted his mom and posted it, I was like, this is
not Drake the Karen of hip hop, because what's happening right now?
What is Sandy going to do?
Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm like, I guess, like, you calling your mom, I guess that is you keeping it Canadian. It's like, why are rap greats telling you just be yourself? And you're like, okay, so cosplay as like a hood nigga from the South? No, you Canadian fuck. That's not what I just said. Because the first time he came up, I was sitting here like, the dude from the Grassy, why is he a rapper? Like, why is Wheelchair Jimmy trying to tell us about like his life that really isn't his life? It sounds like you telling us somebody else's life. I'm like, sir, you're Wheelchair Jimmy. Like, what is happening? I'm like, am I missing it? Why is he a rapper?
The truth is, after this, we now know he does have ghostwriters.
Hello.
If everything Daylight is saying true, he did not write back to back. So that Meek Mill win, the streets is talking about taking it back.
Yeah, it's like they should. It's like, it's not saying there is no hood or ghettos in Canada. That is not what we're saying. We're just saying that Drake don't live there.
Right. And they started pulling those clips of him when he was younger. He grew up in an all-Jewish suburb in Toronto. He went to a Jewish school. Mm-hmm. He did not come into contact with African American culture, like by going to visit his dad in Memphis, because his dad was not in his life. You were there with your mom, and even with her, you talk about how you knew you weren't Jewish enough because you were half Black. And it just goes to like when he came into this, he did not know who he was. Because like by the time he came out with Not Like Us, you know, he was like, don't go back to your old hood and plant money trees. And Kendrick was like, the fuck is you talking to, nigga? Mustard on a bee hoe. And that shit was, I was like, for real. He lucky he called DJ Mustard, because if he called DJ Quick, oh God. It's like, yep. It's like, so let me just. Or Dr. Dre. Imagine. It's like, see, Drake, what the hell? I'm like, why you thought you was going to talk to a Compton nigga like this? And he's really from Compton. He really is. I'm like, he is not cosplaying as a nigga from Compton. He is a nigga he is not cosplaying. This is not an act. But you know what I noticed about Drake? Drake is one of them niggas. If you a nigga and you be talking to your boys and be like, you know, I don't cheat on my girl. They be like, yes, you do. You're like, no, I don't. I don't cheat on my girl. Like, no, we don't violate each other. I don't do that. And they be like, nah, niggas cheat. That's what niggas do. And it's like, that's called projection, my boy. Okay. Cheat because you cheat and can't keep your dick in your pants. Correct. And Drake is that kind of nigga. So I think he kind of think everybody fronting or something. Yeah. And it's like, nah. And I really was pissed at 21 for working with him. I almost didn't listen to American Dream. And I did. I'm glad I did because I love that album. But I was like, don't do that again, 21. Don't do it again. Yeah, because it's like this. I think gone are the days where it's like people can keep it. You can keep it hood. You can keep it trail, like whatever the kids want to call it. But I think making a record with someone who's very commercially successful, on one hand, you're like, I can understand that. It's kind of like how I feel like people work with Drake, people who work with Nicki, people who work with Chris Brown. It's like one of those, I'm like, yeah, one of these is not like the other. Or if you're like, I want to work with T.I., I don't want to, it's like people that are like, you see or Dr. Dre or 50 Cent, like you see the problematicness, but you're just like, they're very commercially successful, even Chris Brown. And you're like, on one hand, you're like, okay. On the other hand, y'all only get mad at women who work with Chris Brown. Why y'all not get mad at these men who working with his ass? Oh, and sidebar, Luther Campbell needs to sit down and shut the hell up. When he said, Drake can't go up with Kendrick need to go up against Chris Brown, I was like, orderly, please take Mr. Campbell back to his room. I'm sorry, but they was so like, I'm sorry, but Chris did a good job dissing Quavo. But I'm sorry, but when he said that takeoff line, if I was Quavo mama and takeoff mother, I would have went up to Virginia and I would
Oh,
have
I'm
smacked
sorry.
him.
It's
I'd
like
smack
they'd be
him
like,
down.
so how we getting there? Amtrak,
Fuck around.
Southwest, or are we getting in the car? Because I'm sorry. A lot of
I
that
would
stuff was
have
like, I'm
that
gonna
fuck
punch you in the
around.
face. It's like, baby, it's like, what's the quickest way to get to Virginia from here?
I
Right now.
apologize.
It's like, okay, so we riding at dawn? We sure are. Because that little nigga lost his damn mind. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I'd have told Cardi, call up Star Brim and bring your
Not
hitters.
Star Brim, not bring
Not
your
doing.
hitters.
I think she out of jail. Welcome
I
home,
think
girl.
she is.
So, but not like.
So, sidebar, I find it funny when people talk about y'all to keep bringing this shit up. I'm like, y'all literally will not stop bringing up the fact that Cardi it was Robin season when she was a sex worker, because probably somebody did that to her, and so she just paying it forward. But y'all still will not let that go. But no, we gotta stop talking about Chris Brown, and you only bring up one person. I'm like, really? Because because Rihanna's fighting him back. Really? What? When was Karrueche hitting? When was she fighting him back?
I mean, if somebody hits you and you hit them back, like that's wrong now. Right? She's supposed to let them beat her.
Did y'all not watch What's Love Got to Do with it? How long had he been beating her?
Bruh. Karrueche got a 5-year restraining order, and that within itself is telling you 5 years restraining order. I've never heard of a restraining order being that long.
And it's supposed to be like, it was weird the way they worded it, because it was like, it's supposed to be like a lifetime thing, but it said 5 years. I'm like, wait, that's not lifetime. I'm like, what the hell? Or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't lifetime. I think it said permanent. And I was like, yeah, permanent at 5 years is weird to me.
Yeah, because I think like after 5 years, she can get it renewed automatically unless she says something like, it's got to be something around those lines. But how she got that to think about the information she turned on that nigga.
Correct. It's like, baby. And we didn't hear about it until they were over. This wasn't during. And then there's also add in, apparently, allegedly, a baby mama and allegedly some random woman at a party that he also put his hands on. I'm like, that's 3 additional people outside Rihanna.
And come to find out, he did try to put hands on Teyana Taylor when they said Chris Brown's crew jumped Usher. Usher was trying to stop Chris Brown from hitting Teyana, and Teyana Taylor don't fuck with him no more. But at the same time, he was like, well, we do recall when this Chris Brown Rihanna thing, and Teyana Taylor was the biggest cheerleader for Chris Brown at the time.
She sure was.
Just cool out. Like you don't gotta explain nothing. Let it play out. Now he probably put his hands on you. Fast forward, so it's like, girl. Yeah, I bet she won't do that again.
It's like, girl, I cannot. The hippity hop worlds. One, I am. Everybody knows me. Hello, I'm not a rap head. I just said hippity hops. But when I tell you that first disc record, I was sitting in my house. Cook lives about a good hour from me. I'm pretty sure she heard me screaming the first time. I was like, I had to turn it back on and go, I'm gonna listen again. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm not saying shit. I would literally like bury me at sea with my ancestors, because I'm like, this man literally, you don't see him on social media. It's like he do his music and he go to fuck home. And it's like, now why are you waking up this dragon? He's like, he been sitting here, he been laying in his cave, relaxing. And he's like, I'm about sick of your ass. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. See? He's like, no, do it. Wake him up. Release the Kraken. Like,
it's what I loved. Let's take it from the top. When Like That dropped, I hollered. Like it just, I was like, wait a minute. This is Friday. This is happening. Because you, Drake, and Young Metro had and were falling out. I didn't know what
Metro and who else? You Drake?
Young Metro and Drake had beef. And somebody, I remember they talked.
I'm sorry. I thought you said 3 people. I was like, wait, who?
Metro Boomin, Young Metro,
No, I thought you said 3 different people. I was like, wait a minute. I heard Metro.
My bad.
No, it's me. It's me. Again, please ignore the person who don't know the hippity hops. Keep going. Sorry for interrupting.
Honey. And so somebody was like, well, if Drake fall out with Metro Boomin, is Future gonna follow? Because Future was like, if Young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you. Like Future rides with Young Metro. And so
okay.
And so it's kind of sticky because not only do Future rock with Young Metro, 21 rocks with Metro. Him actually 21, Offset, and Metro did a mixtape and it slaps.
Oh, come on, Slap.
And I got a whole bunch of Metro Boomin shit. I love Metro. I really do appreciate that young man because it's something about his beats and the way he does the production. Like that.
If Young Metro don't like you, I'm gonna shoot you. Like, okay, now that makes sense. Yep.
Like that was a diss song and a diss beat. You go back and listen when he do the when he hit that shit, I'll be on my feet like because he's talking through the beat like you bitch ass looking like yeah like get him Metro.
Not get him Metro.
And they say the issue that Metro got nominated for a Grammy for Heroes and Villains, and Drake got nominated for, I can't remember the album. I think it was For All the Dogs or Her Loss. I can't remember, but either way, Metro Boomin had a more critically acclaimed album, and it performed better than Drake's album, and Drake won the Grammy. So Metro Boomin was like, the fuck? And he made the comments via Twitter, but then he deleted it. And then Drake was like, fuck you, Metro Boomin, you bitch ass nigga, you tweeting, deleting ass. No, he didn't say Metro Boomin. He was like, if all you tweeting, deleting ass niggas, da 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 da, like start popping off and shit.
Oh, please, sir.
So that's when it like, you know, really was like it's on. And then how Rick Ross got into it, not quite sure. I think Rick Ross got into it because he's got issues with Birdman. And Drake is Young Money, Cash Money, Young Money.
Yeah.
So he was like, fuck it, I dissed the boy. And he did. And I'm sorry, but Rick Ross, I believe, out of all the disses we got from everybody, Rick Ross is one for the records. It was a clean diss. It was a straight clean diss. And it's one thing about, you know, you can feel what you want to about Rick Ross. I get it. I understand. As a Ross listener, this nigga, that nigga can write his ass off. And sometimes when he rap, it just sounds like he's just having a stream of conscious and just flowing beat. But he's written for Trina, and he's written for so many people. And game, a lot of people just don't know. Like, I'm for real, I don't know how I missed this, but Future wrote Drunk in Love. And I'm a Future fan. I listen to Future all the time. So I'm sitting here like, how did I miss this? But that's the point. A lot of people were like, one guy was saying, he was like, Drake is wearing Future's crown.
What?
Yeah, he is. Because if you look at the number, Future's gone diamond several times over. And he's written songs for other people. But, you know, again, Future's quiet about this shit. We know what he is. We know what he is, you know what I'm saying? But he's really from Atlanta. He really was outside running traps and shit. Like,
yeah.
He really is that. He really is who he says he's that nigga. Nobody's questioning. You know what I'm saying? It's like, then I found out Childish Gambino had an issue with Drake. But the way he was explaining it, it kind of made sense. Like, yeah, like Childish Gambino is like, bro, I'm standing right here. And if you think about it, yeah, you know, unsuspecting rapping nigga who can sing and act. Like, he's standing right there.
He's like, I'm right here. It's like,
so I didn't realize that, like, you know, but of course, the industry is the industry. People, you know, bite their tongues. They go along to get along. So they can advance. We all know a lot of people, you compromise your integrity a lot to be there.
Yeah.
So by the time, go ahead.
No, I'm listening. No, go ahead.
Oh, no. So, like, by the time Like That came out, And then J. Cole does his thing. So here's the funny thing about J. Cole. I went live in the group. I was talking because I was like, it's too much to type, y'all. Like I gotta say it. I was chatting about it, and my thing was just like, I gotta apologize. But by the time I went live, like I think 616 in LA had came out. No one or did family did meet the grams that came out by the time I went live. And so it was just like I owe Jermaine an apology.
Oh no.
I do. I do.
Oh boy, here we go. Look at
Because
that. That's growth. You know what that is? Growth. Be
look,
like, I owe people an apology. Let me like, oh, my bad. Let me just.
I owe
I'm
Jermaine.
sorry.
I do.
Mm,
Look.
mm. And
So
that's what adults do.
yeah, look. Word on the curb, schoolboy Q pulled his coattails and was like, nah,
Oh.
you don't want this. Like, move around.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead, move
Uh-oh.
around. And I want to say whatever they said to J. Cole, only did he come out and apologize, but then he cleared his verse for "We Still Don't Trust You," which to me, I was like, J. Cole is on "We Still Don't Trust You," and that album specifically, because Retro and Future dropped those albums back to back. They went back to back in a row. First, "We Don't Trust You," "We Still Don't Trust You."
Now we still
Bruh,
still don't trust you.
actually, we still don't trust your ass. But they went back to back on them.
You
And
know,
when I heard Jermaine's verse, I was like, what is happening?
oh my.
Like
When I
Jermaine,
tell you, I'm sitting here like, this is so much. And I'm like, I don't. Okay. Drake's songs allegedly it's like, girl, they're like, girl, come harder than that. But I think it's going to get to a point where it's like, y'all niggas just going to have to fight. And you may be getting like your BBL and your allegedly altered muscles, but Kendrick looked like he can fucking fight.
bruh, Kendrick was outside doing jailhouse calisthenics in the parking lot, fully clothed.
Okay. I'm sorry.
And I was like,
I'm
that is
sorry. He looked like he could kick your ass. Like, I suggest you leave him alone.
like it won't be easy.
It will not.
And don't underestimate his size because
Mm-mm.
it won't be easy. And honestly, I think when he called him short and said he wore a size 7, that just pissed Kendrick off because it's like, my nigga, what?
Girl.
No, you don't think I know I wear a size 7 and I'm 5'6"? Like, I don't understand.
Sir. It's like, what are you even talking about, sir? It's like, go
You
to
know,
hell.
Drake pissed that man off. He really did. Because then he came out with the first song. I don't remember what it was. I don't listen to Drake, but I kind of had to start listening to it because I had to keep up with the references in Euphoria because he said stuff on the like that verse. He said stuff on the like that verse.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh.
seeing it the way he did, I've never seen no shit like this before. Like, this is my wheelhouse. This is what I live for.
You're like, ooh, what a time. It's like, girl.
Girl, giddy. I did nothing all weekend. Okay. Giddy. I literally
Y'all, she said she was on K. Dot watch. I said, girl, what? It's like, I love it. I love this way too much. This is amazing.
Girl, I really was up because I just knew he was going to drop again, but I was like, you know what? He really don't because he know he won. But I still think he's going to drop something. It's coming. I'm just waiting. We just all sitting around waiting, but something's happening. Something happening.
Yeah, it's gonna happen because I mean, it's like you a real one when you sitting here like, I just don't fucking like you. It's like I hate you. I'm like, girl,
And we
it's like, and there are he is not sitting there and you guess, no, bitch, I hate your ass. I hate you.
shout out to DMX for saying that because when DMX said it, I knew I was in the right space and I was on the right side. Because when DMX was like, I hate Drake, he was like, I hate the way he walk, I hate the way he talk, I hate the way he dress, I hate the way he sound. He's like, I hate the way he look. He was like, I hate everything about that nigga. And I was like, DMX say that shit.
You're like, okay.
Thank you, Earl. That. Huh.
You're
And it
like,
was
girl.
because I was just like, bruh, he's not like that. And that was the point. Like, nigga, you not like that. And
like
I was like, this
the
nigga Drake.
girlies love him because he's attractive, but it's like real hip hop heads are like,
him. Don't
Yeah,
nobody.
this ain't it. This ain't it.
Don't nobody claim that nigga.
Mm-mm.
Nobody claims him. Nobody. And I'm like, it's a lot of thirsty bitches out there.
Right? It's like you literally had a whole party to retire a sex worker's jersey because she was fucking you. I'm like, wait a minute, you met her at work. You met
And
her at work.
then she had to come back and cuss his ass out. Like, who the fuck do you think you are?
Exactly. I'm like, how you tell him like I'm gonna retire you? Retire me from what?
Bitch, get out of here.
What you retire me from? Nigga, you met me at work. What do you mean?
Like, keep it a buck. If you follow sex worker circles and you follow their gossip, honey, they've been off that nigga.
They're like, nope,
They called him a weirdo. They've been
like he a weirdo. He don't want to put no condoms on. I'm like, I'm sorry, he don't want to do what now?
Right. That part, I was like, whoa. But yeah, because like when they say him and Trey Songz was fucking around in Toronto, I was like, yeah, he be hanging around Trey Songz.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, girl, that's the one that's like, oh, honey.
mm-mm.
When I tell you that's the one that's like, yeah, I don't owe Kiki apology. Y'all do. Because homegirl let y'all know. And y'all like, Kiki, you're nuts. I'm like, is she though?
Trey Songz closet, and I am in here trying to hide myself. I am being sexually intimidated right now. And we were like, what is sexual intimidation? But it's like, no, baby, we get it. We always knew. And honestly, she shouldn't have went to the Breakfast Club with that one. She should have sat down with Robin Roberts.
Yeah, that's it. The thing about the Breakfast Club is not the place to have this conversation.
Breakfast Club, don't do that.
Because I mean, yeah. Oh, okay, I'm gonna shut up. Yeah. So speaking of the Breakfast Club, let's talk about Madam Amanda.
Oh, I have a wonderful tie-in for this too. Go on.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, what's your tie-in, babe?
I found out that Metro Boomin is on the autism scale.
Oh, how fun!
And
he must have went. I guess maybe he went and got tested with a medical professional.
Well, he was nonverbal. The age of 5.
When he was younger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I'm pretty sure if
that means he wasn't hitting the developmental milestones that children have to hit. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And so the music is what brought him.
Oh, good.
Into being verbal and things like that. And I think it's a beautiful story. I think we should really get into it because when he told him shut the fuck up and go make some drums, I was like, you know what?
See,
I never liked that line when he said that to Young Metro. When I heard that shit, that's when I turned it off because that pissed me off. That pissed me off. That's why it pissed me off because I was like, don't nobody talk to Young Metro like that. Yeah. And then he went and made the best diss beat ever. And this nigga got dissed in Japanese.
Come on, Japanese.
Jazz, saxophone. Bobby McFerrin's daughter dropped a verse, and honey, a Canadian rapped over it. Bruh, what? Euphoria is #1 in Canada right now.
Oh my word! What?
It is. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad for the boy. He's done. He's done.
Gosh. Hanging that flat screen, babe.
Like the minute you accepted this, and then you go to bow out, and then pull a Nicki Minaj at the end and start talking.
Girl, please.
About
girl, a mess. It's like, okay. Oh Lord, right. I love it.
Now I'm done. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah. So, okay. For people who do know me, Cook is one of these people. There's a lot of people who know me, right? I have said that there is something very goofy about Amanda Seales. I find it very interesting. The thing about it is, when I said this on the pre-game, the pre-packation, I said this, and I still mean this. I am not going to say 3 things about Amanda Seales. I'm not going to call her stupid. I'm not going to call her not talented. And I'm not going to say she don't belong in these rooms. Because if y'all letting these people who carry penises in their pants come up here being extremely problematic, and y'all will find excuses for them not be in rooms, I don't want to hear it. Y'all literally were on the internet. And I'm saying the hashtag y'all. We're on the internet defending a man who has assaulted at least 4 women that we know about, because he was not invited to a celebrity basketball game during All-Star Weekend. Y'all literally were mad about that because the potato chip company said, girl, stay home. We are good. We don't need you. Goodbye. Don't come back. Y'all were like, see, y'all canceling him from a celebrity basketball. And also, they didn't ban him from All-Star Weekend. That man literally went on a tour, sold out, if I'm not mistaken. That man keeps working Booger Sugar High music with 75 tracks on one EP. He's not canceled. What the hell are y'all talking about? Because he didn't go to one thing that he complained about that we probably wouldn't even notice. And the only reason why we know he ain't dead is because he told us. Girl, shut up. Y'all being dumb right now. So if y'all can do all that for him, y'all can invent reasons why Step in the Name of Love need to be played at your grandmama's repast or the wedding reception. If y'all going to tell us why y'all ain't going to make me quit the Cosby Show, who the fuck told you to do that? I don't know. If y'all literally are still lining up to go see Charlemagne, the court jester, if y'all are still making excuses for several different rappers or people who play the shooty hoops or people who throw the football, if you are making excuses for politicians, if you are sitting here making excuses for a Sean King, a Dr. Umar, and that doctorate is apparently real, but still though, is he a doctor of words? Yes, he is. It's still a doctorate, and that's fine. But if y'all going to y'all let that man that is now, prayers down, he is looking up at us, because he's no longer here, telling y'all broke asses stop being broken. Y'all don't deserve pussy. But when women say you broke and you don't deserve pussy, you actually kind of mad. I'm like, I'm sorry. Kevin actually told y'all that for years. He actually switched it up. He said, I've been talking about men for years. The minute I start talking about women, y'all gonna like me. And sure enough, you literally proved him correct. Y'all let that man cook, and y'all literally told women when he was like talking about women like they ain't shit to chew the meat and spit out the bones, not realizing, baby, we got mostly bones. We ain't even got fat off the bone. Who the fuck do y'all think y'all are? I said all that, and I'm still like, there's no reason why Amanda Seales should not be in any of these rooms, because she's not Stephanie's cup of tea or gin or wine or Kool-Aid or flavored water. But that doesn't mean she shouldn't be there. But I can still say, bitch, shut the fuck up. Madam, your interview was 3 hours and 10 minutes. And
so long.
2 hours and 48 minutes of that interview was you basically saying everybody just hate me for no reason. Baby, they got reasons. You are not going to sit in my face at your big ass age, then we're the same fucking age. That's what is also pissing me off. You're not going to sit at your big ass age and literally just say, my whole life I had to fight because everybody just hate me for no reason. I am too smart for you. You're an ass. It sounds like you've been an ass since elementary school. And it sounds like somebody on YouTube pointed out, and I was like, oh, see, that's kind of funny when you say it. It's like you're an ass because your mama never beat your ass. That's what it sounds like.
Ooh.
And it's like, I saw you too. And I'm like, oh, she's like, I don't think she's a spectrum. I just think she was never disciplined. I'm like, I think she is on the spectrum. Because when the minute she said it, I was like, I was like, yeah, but I could also talk about her hyper focus on certain parts of things. That's not really autism. That could be bipolar schizophrenia. But you know what? I am not a doctor. So I can't make that decision. Cook, do you remember those commercials? I don't think they run those commercials anymore. Where they used to say, are you depressed? Go to this site and take this quiz. If you have this kind of result, that means you're depressed. And they literally say right after that, make an appointment and go talk to a medical professional. Going to this website and answering these questions is a form of self-diagnosis. Because one is like, who's telling you what to say? Who's doing it? The other part of this is that there's people within autistic circles who literally say self-diagnosis is a valid diagnosis. This is also part of Amanda's problem. She sits in the middle of nuance and she picks it like it's a fork in the road. I'm going to go either this way or that way. Ma'am, No one is arguing if you have ASD. They're arguing how you presented it. Mm-hmm. That's the issue. It's not because one, I think she does. I'm like, again, Cook and I are not, we're not diagnosing her because we're not, we're not medical professionals. We're professionals when it comes to mental health because we're professionals that talk about our mental health. Stephanie is a high functioning person with depression. I've talked to 5 different therapists in my whole life. I've been varying levels of depression depending on who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
What you're not going to do, Amanda, is trivialize autism the way that you did. Saying like, oh, what, because one, and I'm going to get to Uncle double cheeked up on the Monday, Snacky Sharp. I'm going to say this loud and I need y'all to hear me.
Oh, shit.
There is nothing wrong with having autism. That just means you think differently than everybody else. Sometimes you're actually thinking more than everybody else. You actually are paying more attention. You actually can see stuff that other people do not. Saying, do you think something is wrong? It's like, time out, homie. Wrong is not the word we want to use. But that's the first thing. Shannon is this man is 56 years old. He's a 56-year-old Black man from the South who went to an HBCU and got into the sports. And now he got all this money. And then he decided to let loose his Blackness on a white network with a white co-host. And he has built a platform that has shown, hey, you can come here and be your nigga ass self. Because I'm fine. We gonna drink my nigga beverage and we gonna talk some nigga shit. I don't blame you. If you think that this is not a soft ball place to come and I'm like, they're like, I mean, he ain't doing this good an interviewer. Since when did Shannon Sharp say he's an interviewer? That nigga can barely hold a he says he's a conversationalist. That nigga can barely hold a conversation. Because the problem is, it's like both of y'all. Neither one of y'all had the bandwidth to have this fucking conversation, and that's why it pissed me off. I'm like, so first of all, Amanda, why are you doing well, people are misrepresenting me. So I'm like, maybe I'm on the spectrum. Ooh, slap the dog piss out of you. Ooh. Like, Amanda, what? And then she's like, yeah, because autistic people, like, they think about so much what other people are thinking. How many autistic people do you know? And don't say yourself.
It could be that. It could be personality disorder.
Correct. We don't know. Correct. And the thing about it is like, because then it became people. So I will say, even though I don't agree with it, I'm kind of glad that people did kind of come to her aid. I'm like, why are y'all doing this to Amanda? You mean the Amanda who literally asked for this interview to happen? Who actually said, I should come on Club Shay. Me, she has watched this fucking show is not a surprise. So, ma'am, why are you acting like they said, oh, Amanda, we want you to come on here? She don't give a fuck. He said, please come on here. Please come on here. He got Cat Williams to talk. When the last time that nigga had an interview? He don't do them. He don't do it. He don't do it. You got Cat Williams on here. And I was like, oh, I guess everybody coming. I'm like, it's not like he didn't have other big hitters on Club Shay. It's just that you had lightning in the battle. That's Cat Williams. Cat Williams don't do no interviews. He don't do them. He never does them. He's like, I'm not coming to talk to y'all because get the hell out of my face. It's like, he had to educate Joe Budden on cancel culture and using a metaphor by using basketball. I'm like, so does that make sense? Does cancel culture make sense to y'all now? Now that he talked about that with, talking about inbounds and outbounds with basketball, does it make sense to y'all now? Let me know. So it's like, Amanda, you came here, and the thing about it is like, one, I know he set you off when he was talking about the thing with the teacher. Let me just say that. When Amanda is right about something, she's absolutely right. She was absolutely right to dig in that man's ass. Who the fuck do you, sir? Like, if she was white, if this was another white dude, do you think she would have said something? If I'm a Black man sitting in front of you, would you question my experience or would you let me cook?
No.
Then, I feel like that would have set off this day interview. Like, how many niggas been sitting in your face and you let them cook? One of them is Dark Winged Duck Cam Newton. You let that man play in your face. It's like, get the fuck out of my face. It's like, Shannon, see, the thing about it is, it's like you are benefiting from people who have not watched your interviews. Your people are like, oh, I just can't. I ain't know it's been on. That thing been on for like at least 2 years. Not for nothing. Club Shay Shay's the reason why he got the nightcap shirt for Ocho Cinco, because Ocho Cinco was one of the other people on the show. He came on there as an interview. Not sure why. Child, if anybody else other than the pivot get Mr. CTE himself, Antonio Brand, that man is nuts. And that is my unmedical diagnosis. So it's like, Club Shay Shay is not the place to have this kind of, it's a nuanced conversation about Black mental health, about testing for autism and the spectrum. This Club Shay Shay is not the place. Because let's be very clear, that's why, Amanda, you ain't trying to go on Tamron Hall's show, because you know she will hang your ass out to dry. Oh, Gail would too. That's the thing. You know who to play with, because one, Shannon is very much, oh shucks, we just going to have a conversation. Tamron Hall been like, wait a minute, what did you just say? Tamron would literally like cut the record. Oh, girl. That's why it's like that's why I'm like, Amanda not stupid. She know exactly what she be doing. That's why she went to Club Shay Shay and not anybody else. She ain't going to Tamron Hall. She ain't going to Gail. Hell, she ain't coming to me. Please don't come here. Please don't come here. Because we're like, oh, we'll have a conversation. I just like, ma'am, you cannot sit in my face. We're the same age. Because what she should have been focusing on is Amanda is 42 years old. So is Stephanie. Meaning that in the 1980s, there was one, they didn't have the term spectrum. Two, they were like, to a certain extent, like she sits like on a lily pad in the lake of nuance. She sat right there on that lily pad and didn't move. She's like, oh, I didn't get tested because I'm a Black woman. That's part of the reason. The other reason is because, bitch, you're 42 years old. They really do more testing, and it's not clinical. It's not a clinical diagnosis. They're going to test by children and seeing if they hit developmental milestones. If they're not hitting milestones, they're like, maybe start testing. They may be delayed. That's what happened with Tony Snell. So for anybody who doesn't know, Tony Snell, again, I don't watch the shooty hoops. Tony Snell, 30-something years old. His child, 18 months old, was showing developmental delay. They were like, it could be genetic. So that's what got him tested. That's how he found out. He wasn't looking at his behavior. If he did not become a father in his 30s, he would have never got tested for this. It's always been there. So it's kind of like in the 1980s, they were not testing us. Basically, if you're a little Black child in the school, you were bad, had ADD, you're talkative, you're disruptive to the class. That's it. They were not testing us. But Amanda, if you really could like go forward beyond your fucking nose, you could have actually said that. I'm like, baby, add the nuance of this is the 1980s. So even if you were maybe showing this, your mother, who seems like she was a single parent, that means she was overworked. She's like, what am I supposed to do with this? That's probably why she wasn't really physically disciplining you, West Indian at all. That's why she didn't. She was like, oh no, man. Like, no, that's why she's like, just leave her alone. That's Amanda. You don't think your mama didn't see that? And just trying to beat it out of you? No, probably not. I don't think that wasn't the move. Mm-hmm. It just isn't. Ma'am, the whole thing about, and then it became like, she never said she was clinically diagnosed. You guys are actually right. She didn't. She said she was recently diagnosed. When Shannon asked her, did you really receive a clinical diagnosis? She said, there is a clinical diagnosis for autism. So point for y'all. Pings to you, Fernand. She did not say she's clinically diagnosed, but did she dodge that question? Yes. I find it very interesting that she's saying, I was dodging because I don't have to answer them. Ma'am, 3 minutes and 38 seconds into that video, you said that you started the conversation of, I was recently diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. Yeah. Man, it was like, wait a minute. So when people were like, what y'all mean? I'm like, y'all literally can watch the intro, him read off her a lot of accolades, and then say, hey, how are you? And I'm like, Lord have mercy. And it's insulting. It's insulting to people who actually are on the spectrum or have loved ones or who are caregivers of people who are autistic. They're like, what is wrong with her? I'm like, yeah. Because you made it seem like, oh, people are misrepresenting me. I must be on the spectrum. Or ma'am, you're too old to not do self-reflection. As smart as you are, it can't be. Because I said this to my mother. I said, if she was watching an interview, somebody else that did the same thing, she would have literally ripped their ass a new one. When you get to be critical of everybody else, if someone's critical of you, their ears are broken. Girl, you need to check. You need to go talk to ear, nose, and throat doctor because your ears aren't working. They are working. That's why Baller said she mad at us because of what she said out her mouth. I'm like, okay, what? See.
I mean, for me, because I follow a lot of people who have diagnoses and things like that. It was, and I've really been trying to unlearn ableism because I genuinely feel like it's our last hurdle of the isms. Like once we get ableism, I do believe that will bring us towards a more equitable society because, it has to include everyone. And it was really great to see all the people who have been diagnosed to say, I see myself in Amanda because a lot of times personality disorders or ADHD or any other diagnoses, it does impact your social life.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I definitely know that I'm asked. But I'm grateful that when it comes off, I have people in my life who still accept me. But it's interesting because one of the things that people don't really talk about with mental illness or mental health disorders or personality disorders is how you can be susceptible to manipulation by neurotypical people. Because if you are neurospicy,
neurospicy?
You are neurodivergent or neurospicy. You tell the truth. You're honest, and it is to a fault. You don't know how to play those social games where you say one thing but mean another, and it's like everybody's a part of the conversation and you're not. Like you can't follow along. You don't really know what they're talking. Like you need people have to really spell shit out for you. Like no, be honest and say the truth because you're telling the truth. And then also too, there are people who may encounter you and don't believe you're that honest. And that's some sort of mental cycle with them because they're trying to always prove you wrong. And it's like, yeah. When you have a disability like that, the instances of abuse, emotional mostly, and or verbally, it just increases. And you have to be very, 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 very careful and selective about who you interact with. For your own mental health, for your own peace.
Correct.
But I really did get a joyous feeling of seeing all the neurodivergent people praising the interview. Like, yeah. But of course, once the neurotypicals got a hold of it, it was like, here we go. And everybody just started picking her apart. And it's like, bruh, just let the interview be what the fuck it was going to be. She came to speak her piece and tell her truth. And she did. Let it be what it's going to be. My thing is that with Amanda is like, you know what? Like you said, she is talented. She can sing. She can, she is creative. She can do things. But like at this point, stop trying to go into the mouth of the belly of the beast. You will not make it there because you're not ready to compromise anything that you deem a part of your integrity and character. And they compromise. And then, in subtle ways, big ways, and everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know he beat his wife, but he's hot, and I'm gonna get this beat from him. You know, and you may not want to work with them, but the label's like you're going to work with them, and you decide to go along and get along because you don't want to make waves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like you're not like that. That's not who you are. So I just want her to start talking to the people who want to hear her.
Yeah.
You
It's
know, just
like
don't wanna
go where you're honored. Don't try to basically try to like I deserve to be in these rooms, but you're like, I hate everybody in this room. I'm like, so why do you want to be in the room? It's like,
hear
ma'am, because the thing about, and again, I keep saying, like, when she's right about something, she's absolutely right about it.
Mhm.
So it's the thing about it, I was just like, oh, good Lord. Because I was like, 3 hours and 10 minutes. What are we going to learn from her? It can,
Honestly, it frustrated me to no end because Shannon is like, nigga, I'm sorry, but it was just like I can't. Kept doing that thing that black men do,
yes.
and it's like I could not sit and watch it in real time. It was too much. It was too fucking much. Like, bruh,
I watched it in spurts. I'm like, girl, between these two, I'm like, Shannon, now I may have my issues with Miss Amanda, but what you're not going to do is play on her face. How are you telling, like, oh, wait, like when he said, oh, you must have spent your time in, you must spend a lot of time in the principal's office. What, do you think it was because you were black? Shannon, you are a nigga from the South. Not only you are a unambiguous black man from the South. Stop playing with me. That nobody could look at you and think that you're not a nigga. Why are you talking to her like this?
first of all, Dr. Umar said, Shannon Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Ultra Single, and Terrell Owens. He said,
Mm-hmm.
black girls called you ugly.
Mm-hmm.
You believe that the white girls called you handsome?
Okay.
Play cards, and why do you got to be so goddamn raggedy, Dr. Umar?
Okay.
Why?
It was like, damn it. It's like, if he don't got a fucking point, I'm like, because I swear, you're like, them black women call me ugly, but then white girls, I'm like, you man who literally will love your BBC until
Mm.
insert anything you can think of.
Until they find the right white man to settle down with.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, would just learn when you are
Yeah,
something.
watch out before y'all marry that white woman and you and your daddy play basketball and then they doing a interview on for Vogue and they said, what's your favorite food? Fried chicken. Girl, get your lawyer on the phone. Patrick, get your lawyer on the phone. The call's coming from inside the house because girl, why the fuck would you say that?
No, Lord.
It was like, it's sushi. I'm like, girl, you've known this man since high school. You ain't just meet him. Y'all are high school sweethearts. That is complete. I'm like, girl, out of order. Completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's like, oh baby. It's like, the thing about it is like, I don't know why Amanda thought that this would be a good idea. I'm like sitting here like, time out. Why did you think this? Because I'm like, wait, and she asked for this. She actually put out a whole video. I'm like, I think I would be good on Club Shay Shay. And I'm sitting here like, what? Nobody talked you out of this, huh? No one didn't say, I don't think this is the right one. Girl, I'm surprised you didn't become the third co-host of the Breakfast Club. I don't think Charlamagne would have said no. He liked you, remember?
Mm-hmm.
You his buddy. When you were berating people, rightfully so, when they were supporting Bill Cosby, and then you hopped your happy ass up to Charlamagne's show when people said, now wait a minute, hold up, you talking about people and you want to, I know y'all, I know what y'all gonna say, but he family. Oh, so you can like problematic alleged sex offenders, but I can't. Interesting.
I mean, girl.
I was like, and so this came. So 2 names that came out. Well, actually 3. I guess 4 if we really think about it. Let's talk about 4 names. The first one is going to be Samira Rice. And the way that she handled that conversation. Now, Samira Rice, rightfully, who lost her whole child that she birthed out of her whole body, had stuff to say about grifters and scammers, allegedly grift and scammers. Shaun King. Huh? So she, I'm sorry, say it again.
In the movement.
Like she had a big problem with that. Now, I don't think Trayvon's family has said too much, but I think it's probably because they may have had a little bit more help and actually seen more of the benefit of the movement. Because when you're the catalyst, you should. Or the catalyst of the new agenda, because police brutality against Black people is not new. It's just televised. Yeah. It's just recorded now. It's like, oh, it's always been there. It's just y'all didn't believe us, so now we had to start recording it. Mind you, Rodney King was also recorded, and y'all still tried to find it. You know what? Shut up, Stephanie. We're not doing this today. She had an issue with how things were moving. And here come Amanda saying, I had a fair question. I don't see why she had an issue with my question. Ma'am, when you lose your child in a violent, traumatic way, you don't want to hear nobody questioning you on shit. Man, we can't even question how you said words out of your own mouth, but she can't question the movement. Are you fucking kidding me right now, Amanda? Amanda, people, I need you to talk to her. I'm like, are you listening to yourself? You actually have been talking for days about people literally listening to what you said out your mouth, and you're like, how dare y'all try to like actually use my words against me? And this woman literally, she ain't come at you. You decided to come at her, even though Sean was like, don't listen to Amanda because you said the thing about the guy in Texas who was on the death row. And you're like, oh, I'm supporting him. JK, no, I'm not. It seems like he's dangerous. And Shaun King said, don't listen to Amanda.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, this was before Samira Rice, ma'am. It's like, so why are you? I'm like, so you think?
Tell me that backstory. You gotta tell me that backstory when we chat.
Oh yeah, because I was like, oh,
because I ain't heard that one, but
I was like, oh, I'm like, oh my Lord, I'm like, because it happened so quick. He was like, don't listen to Amanda. I said, oh,
that's not okay.
I was like, okay. It's like, oh, yeah. I love the finger pointing because I mean, Shaun King v. D-Ray was literally top tier, like mess. It's like, oh.
Listen, when Netta jumped in, when Netta was in it, and she said "nigga" in quotation marks, she won.
It's like, oh, let me go. So the thing about it is, like, you could have used this platform to actually like do some self-reflection. You wanted to come use Shannon's platform to basically get everybody else together, quote unquote, not really doing any self-reflection, not even trying to say like, let me clear this up. Let me like apologize, anything. You did not. You literally said it was fine for you to question her. But literally, if anybody questions you, you block them or you put like a 75-piece story up to say, y'all niggas weird for questioning me. You question everybody else, don't you? It's like you can't be above reproach. And I'm so sorry. You don't understand. I am not a mother. However, if I was Samira Rice, I came and visited you real quick. I'm sorry, I just want to talk to you in person. I'd have a sock full of nickels for your ass. That's so old school. That's so auntie. I love it. It's like, oh, girl, I beat your ass.
So, fun fact, when Kendrick said, I'm whooping feet, I, as an African-American from the East Coast, thought he was going to have Drake up in the air by one arm and be beat. And you got beaten and hit your back of your head, your shoulder, your back, your leg, your butt, your feet. Like you got. But no, the elders in California used to say, "I'm gonna beat your light ass on your feet, so social workers can't tell I beat you."
I went, wait, that's what? I was like, oh.
That's what they say that means.
When I saw it, I was like, oh shoot. Because I didn't know that because I thought the same thing you thought. I was like, oh shit, that's a thing.
And he gonna whoop the shit out you. He said, I'm whooping shit up.
I whoop it. Like, girl. So it's like, go ahead.
And I love being black. Okay.
Hello. The fact that there's 3 different like definitions. Like, oh, that's what they mean. Oh, that's what y'all Cali niggas talking about. Oh,
I've heard all of me. Like for me, like I know what I thought and envisioned in my own mind when I saw that shit. I know what I saw. Explanation. I was like, that makes so much more sense.
I was like, okay. I was like, what is that? They're like, oh.
I like it. I like it.
Oh man.
I like it.
Oh, okay.
I like it.
I do. I was like, okay. Yeah, so I'm like, I'm so sorry. I feel like she got carte blanche to beat your ass. She do. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I lost my whole child. For y'all, it was just a name, a hashtag for you. This was my whole child.
And that's the point. I think because she was who she was and the way she approached things and then the police being as nasty as they were, I just think it was awful. She didn't justice at all.
So the second name is Myron Roll.
Okay.
Now, we talked about this in the third. When I say it took me a week to watch this interview. I had to break it up. It's 3 hours. I work 8 hours a day. It took me a week because I had to turn off. Like, it's like, oh, I can't do this. But Myron Roll, she touched on it very briefly, and I'm kind of glad that Shannon asked some follow-up questions. Shannon, please don't. No, because you would think the ex-football player, if you don't think he know who the fuck Myron Roll is, he do. Oh, he know who he is. I'm like, baby, like, don't ask no questions.
I'm here for it.
So for people who didn't know, this is a little bit of it. And mind you, there are YouTubes that are out here. So Amanda had alluded to, I think that's her thing. She alludes to a lot of things where she's like, I didn't say that straight out. I'm like, but she kind of insinuated and alluded to that. She alluded to a man who was talking to her kind of crazy, kind of spicy. She didn't like the way that he talked to her. He was kind of aggressive. And then she said it was Myron Roll. I think she said it on the Breakfast Club. Very interesting. Then all of a sudden, women allegedly messaged her and said, oh, he did that to me too. And then it turned into, oh, I was just reporting because people told me that. I'm like, man, you insinuated the man who was talking to you very aggressively was him. And then here come Myron Roll, former NFL player, now neurosurgeon, girl, what? And a doctor, saying, shit. I have only had one conversation with Amanda Seales. And it was like, oh, good Lord. So then it turned into, people were telling me this. Then homeboy over at Black Sports Online, Mr. Robert Lassell, came after Amanda Seales.
Why?
Let's just be very clear. That man ain't shit either, because he's the same person who put the name of Derrick Rose's accuser on the fucking internet. He ain't shit either in this.
Jesus Christmas.
It's like, what? It's like if any black athlete is accused of SA in any form, Robert Lassell is going to call them a liar so quick. Y'all just lying and bring this man down. It was more than one person, Robert. So then they're going back and forth, so much so they had like a nice little mediation on Van Lathan's show because Van Lathan was cool with Amanda.
Oh,
so
boy.
Then they sitting down having this mediation, which was like, girl, it was Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man on who's problematic and moving, because her thing with Robert is like, you had these people attack me. You have a bigger platform than I do. And I was like, stop. I bet you have a bigger platform than Myron Rolle. I'm pretty sure you do, because I'm like, I don't even think people really knew who the fuck Myron Rolle was. Not really, unless you really had your ear to the ground with the sports. Or if you were in that city where he played.
And the shooty hoops.
And this see, y'all love it. They're like, now why are you calling it that? Because I'm 42 years old, I'm an auntie, and I don't watch basketball. I know it's called basketball. I know what it's called, but I like calling it shooty hoops because it's my thing. So the thing was, you didn't necessarily apologize. And also, fun fact, nobody really came out and said that I'm the one who told, like, and the thing about it is, I'm not even going to shame anybody if this is true, because I don't know if it is, but it didn't seem like it was. It still doesn't. Am I saying like he didn't do something? No, because I don't know that. But here's the thing, Amanda, you cannot say I had a responsibility. No, the fuck you did not. You got caught up. And the thing about it is, what if Myron had used some of his, I mean, he ain't got Black and Funny, and I've been on Nickelodeon, and my brother and me money, but he damn sure got neurosurgery money. You don't think he could have asked a whole lawyer to talk to you? And he didn't. He was like, the thing about it is like, I couldn't be Myron Rolle if I did not do something. Because I'm sorry. I would be like Nicole's family. I'd be like Ron Goldman's family. You would never not hear from me. It's like, I'm sorry. I'd be a Goldman so quick.
Forever.
It's like, oh, that man did. Well, give me my money. You're never getting your 30-something million dollars. That nigga ain't got it. I'm sorry. That man is not here. What you want him to do? What do you want him to do? His children, I feel like his children are in witness protection, because last time you seen OJ's real children and not Khloe Kardashian.
Girl, hush. Girl.
His alleged child. I'm like, y'all need to stop this. That girl alone.
Those her original nostrils were Jackson 5 nostrils.
So again, I'm like, Shannon, thank you for not asking no follow-up questions, because girl, no. And it's like, Amanda, please. The third name I'm going to say is Vanessa. Because I'm saving the last person. Vanessa is Issa Rae's publicist.
Oh, Vanessa.
So, in 2019, in the fall of 2019, there was an Emmys. In 2018, Vanessa had a party. Jill Scott was invited, and her plus one was Amanda Seales. Now, Insecure had been on by 2019, like it was coming up on the 5th and final season, right? So it's been for years that her and Vanessa did not get along. So Amanda came in 2018 as Jill Scott's plus one to the party, and I don't know, something interactive. She's like, okay, Amanda. It's like, all right. 2018 rolls around. Jesse Williams tells him, oh, you're coming to the Black Emmy party. Now, it's during Emmy weekend, so he doesn't know the differential, like, oh, is this the Black Emmy party, or is just a Emmy party for Black people? No one really knows what the difference is. Doesn't really matter. Also, fun fact, I'm pretty sure if Jesse Williams knew that Vanessa had a problem with Amanda, you think he would have like said, oh, let's go to the party? Like, you think I don't think if this was like a well-kept secret within, like, to us, but everybody in Black Hollywood knew that, you think he'd be like, come on, let's go. So the story that came out from that weekend was not anything that Vanessa said. It was Amanda in her Instagram, where she was saying, this white woman just kicked me out of the Emmys party.
Is she?
And the woman that was at the front, she is not white. She was Latina. And then it turned into Issa Rae's publicist got me thrown out of the Black Emmy party.
Oh, she said the Latina lady was at work doing her job. She's doing
and so was the security. The way that she told the story on Club Shay is interesting, because that wasn't necessarily the story that she told on her own podcast Small Doses, where she did a 2-part episode discussing the party. That came out in October. So she talked about this. It had sound effects. I'm like, I don't know who produced it. Maybe this was a Tyler Perry production. I don't know. But she had 2 parts, and it was like, and she gave it from her point of view. Now, some of the things she said was like, she didn't like me, I didn't like her, I didn't work for her, she don't work for me, we don't have to interact. Now, the way that she talked about in 2019 is very interesting, considering that's not how she explained it in 2024 when on April 18th, 2024, the only reason why I know it's Thursday the 18th is because at the beginning he said, what is today? Today is Thursday the 18th. I'm like, so they did this on April 18th. See how that works? So you made it seem like you explained it as if this was a work issue. Let's be very clear here. Hi, I'm HR. No, it is not. This did not happen at work. This was not an HBO party. This was not a Emmy party. This was not an Insecure party. Has she not invited you to Insecure related things? If I don't like you, bitch, you are not invited to my party. I don't think I would have worked to like remove you from said party. You just wouldn't be invited. You like the only way you're gonna get there is you somebody's +1. I kind of wouldn't have cared. It's like for me, that's way too much energy. No, I'm not inviting you, but if something like, oh, Amanda's here, I'm like, okay, girl, of course she is. What else she doing this weekend? See, I'll be trying to shade your ass because that's how I would operate. I still let you in there and be like, girl, it's like, what else she got to do? It's not like she working. See, rude, see, rude.
Like, oh yeah, what you about to do?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's not like you busy. So it turned to like, so the way she explained it, she said that woman did a smear campaign. And I'm like, funny, I don't remember hearing any of that. And the thing is, I'm not even gonna say that it isn't out there. I'm not even gonna say that either. I'm like, it's just, well, the narrative, Amanda, was really coming from you because you talked about it. You did on social media, and then you did a whole 2-part episode about it. So in October 2019, she told the story. Fun fact. In April 2020, she had 2 people on her own podcast. One of them was Issa Rae, and the other one is Prentice Penny 2 weeks after that. So, Amanda, how is Issa Rae, you after the first season, I want to sit her down and like, you make it seem like you and Issa have not been cool since season 1. When she was on your podcast, months after her PR person said, you cannot come to my party. Time out, girl. What is happening here? And I started listening to the episode. It didn't sound very business to me. It sounded like 2 people who actually were cool. Like, we cool. We not besties, but we cool. It sounds very familiar. You asking about like stuff being delivered to her home. It does not seem like somebody from People interviewing her. It sounds like somebody that she knew. It's like, so why are you forming this impression of Vanessa? So then you're talking about, because that's why Issa said, is this going to be a problem at work? Why? Because this didn't happen at work. You said it. I don't work for her. She don't work for me. We don't have to interact. So why are you trying to make it seem like this is a work issue? And Issa should have stepped in. For what?
Don't bring that to work.
That's why is this a problem? And no one thinks she didn't have to do that. She's like, can you talk to Vanessa? Vanessa said, this has nothing to do with Issa. I'm the one who didn't invite you because I didn't like you. Okay, well, I guess ain't nothing to say. Time out. Ma'am.
Get into it right there.
Ma'am. First of all, but most of all, you asked Issa to have a conversation. Here's the thing. I know I haven't been in HR that long, but let me just say this. You didn't come to Issa for them to be some kind of mediation. You came to Issa because you wanted her to discipline Vanessa. Please stop fucking playing with me. You came to her because you wanted her to discipline her. Tell her that she's wrong. I'm like, you're telling her, you want me to tell her she's wrong to not invite you to her party. She wasn't doing it on my behalf. She wasn't doing it of HBO from their production company. They are not doing it on behalf of Insecure or hell, even NBC Universal. Like, this is her party that she helped with other people helped her, because there's no way in hell she's just planning a party on her own.
It's her party.
How dare you sit here like, it wasn't just her party. Time out. That means it was her party. She's part of the planning committee.
Mm-hmm.
And if she said, I don't like you, and you're like, well, ain't nothing to talk about, and you hang up the phone, oh, baby, that phone call is not what you wanted. You wanted Issa to discipline her because Vanessa works for her. That's why you wanted her to talk. He's like, you don't even want to know why? No. And I don't care. I'm like, Shannon, shut up. Please stop icing her up. But to her credit, to give her a little grace, I can understand. I'm like, yeah, I kind of don't care. But it's like, if you don't care if she don't like you because you don't like her, why does it matter if she did not invite you to your party? Because one, you're embarrassed. You embarrassed that the other like Hollywood niggas can get in and you couldn't. Just say that. Don't make it like it's an HR issue. Oh, baby, it's not an HR issue. This is not an HR issue. That's why she said, is this going to be a problem at work? Because this didn't happen at work. And you're, again, misrepresenting the conversation because, baby, that ain't what you said 5 years ago. It's not. Because you made it seem like basically people are, and the thing about it, and I can give her this grace of saying, I don't think that's how she means it. But I don't think she realizes this is how she comes off. Everybody is beneath you or they are somehow in service of you. Even if they don't. I'm like, ma'am, you're saying I don't need to interact with her. Okay, then you don't need to come to her fucking party. Now what's good? Or you could throw your own fucking party. You don't miss parties. Like, what the hell? Because one, it's like she didn't have to be that frank and say, I didn't invite you because I don't like you. Okay, I guess ain't nothing to say. I'm like, okay, then you don't want to have a conversation with her. Because what if it's just a miscommunication? That could be like just wrong. Like she caught you on the wrong day. I can give you that grace. But if you are going to sit, if you're always sitting in, and I've said this about solving conflict. If you come to the table to solve a conflict, sitting there saying, I'm coming here because I'm right and I'm giving you time for you to figure out how wrong you are not there to solve anything. You come to this table thinking you right, then you are not here to basically resolve anything.
No, you're not.
You're not here to resolve nothing. So it's like, ma'am, who the fuck do you think you are? I'm so sorry. You're lucky, but the thing about it is like, let me just say, this has nothing to do with Issa, and it didn't. So why are you making it seem like it does? She didn't protect you. Protect you from what? Your own self? Because if anybody's just saying this about Issa, I'm like, really? So why don't the rest of the cast fuck with you? Kendrick, he kind of like, he be in his own world. He be in his patchy beard world. He's so fine though. And it's like, I think it's like, because he came towards the end, so he wasn't there since day one. So he don't know the backstory. And the fact that Amanda brought up Sarunas and the woman that he got somebody else on the show pregnant. And I'm like, if I was that woman, I'd be like, now what the fuck am I in this? Why are you bringing this up?
That's why I don't know if I like you.
And it's like, come on. Like, and I'm surprised homegirl's like, well, nobody, I guess she's thinking like, maybe people, when I look me up, I wouldn't be surprised if people didn't DM that actress. And no, I'm not saying her name. I know exactly who she is. I'm sorry. I'm like, so why doesn't Yvonne mess with you? Because you only had an issue. You only mentioned two people, Sarunas and Issa. How come the rest of the, I'm like, it wasn't a big cast, but it was a cast. Like your ass. You think Issa told them not to like you? Oh, girl. Protect you from what?
Yeah.
Ma'am, you're not correct. You cannot, like, one, she does work for Issa, however, comma, you cannot tell me, I'm like, tell her she's wrong for not inviting me to her party. She's not. She's not wrong to not want you at her party. And she only took that phone call and calls you because her boss told her to. She did what she was supposed to do. It's like, Amanda, stop playing with me. Because you literally stood here 3 hours and 10 minutes And 2 hours and 58 minutes, I've upped the number of those minutes, you basically said people just like me for no reason. And it's always everybody else's fault. I'm like, look, I'm just trying to like, so you're going to tell me at your big ass age of 42 that all of the conflicts that you just talked about, you've had negative experience from quite a few, and not saying that you don't. The thing about it is, I'm not even going to say that all these situations are proactively her fault, because I don't think they are. But there's no way as an adult who has done the work of self-reflection, allegedly, would sit here and act like everything is everybody else's fault. And people dislike me for no reason. That is just morally bankrupt and extremely irresponsible. Wow. I don't even understand this. And I can say all of that and have these little rants and still say there is no way in hell she should not be in some of these panels in these rooms. Shunning her for what? Y'all let T.I. cook. Y'all let Killer Mike cook. Let me tell you something. Kanye do a hot 16. Y'all ready to welcome him back in the fold. She was absolutely right to bring up that whole Candace Owens shit, because y'all have lost y'all Muppet ass minds. I'm sorry, you're letting who? Y'all letting anti-black. It's like Amanda is an asshole, anti-black. She has anti-black tendencies. She's done some stuff, but for the most part, she do kind of stand up for black people. So she is not in the anti-black bunch, but y'all let them bitches cook.
Yeah. And that is misogynoir.
Thank you. It's like, if y'all still letting these niggas cook, I'm like, excuse me. Kanye literally said slavery was a choice, and y'all still like, ooh, Kanye coming out. Ooh, Sunday service coming out. I wish the what?
So do you think Chrisette Michele and Amanda Seales got the same condition?
I'm sorry, that was not supposed to be funny.
I mean, no, but it is, right?
So, when it came to Chrisette, again, I know it's her basket skirt. I'm like, girl, I wish your fan base, like Jennifer Holiday's fan base, pulled you on one of the strings in your weave and said, "Get your ass back over here," because she pulled out so quick.
Child.
I said, Chrisette, you need to go talk to Jennifer, because notice it was like she doing it. They were like, no, she's not. No, I'm not. Because the thing's like, I'm looking at the way that Chrisette said it, and I was just like, y'all were like, fuck Chrisette. And I'm saying the hashtag y'all. Fuck was like, fuck Chrisette forever. Because she sang a song at a party he didn't even attend. But I don't see y'all canceling out Steve Harvey nor Kanye West, and they went to the Tower of Doom. Kanye more than one occasion. Yeah, I was like, yeah, no, we're not doing this with Chrisette. I was like, Chrisette is foolish. It is.
She's foolish.
If these white rockers are like, do not play my fucking music at your fucking events, I will kick your ass, brother. Turn my fucking shit off. I'm like, let me tell you something. I'm like, no black people, we ain't got to do it no more. These white people going to come after him. Go right ahead. Drag her. You can drag her now, Portia. It's like, nope.
Don't make me call Portia.
Don't make me call Portia. Let me tell you something. Do not make me call Robert De Niro. I know he play a gangster on television, but he look like he really knows some people, so I suggest you leave him alone. When homeboy from Curb Your Enthusiasm, which if you look at the character, you're like, it's like, I feel like his character would be like a trumpet. He's like, this is a fucking idiot. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, yup, black people, we ain't got to do nothing else. Let these white people call a spade a spade. It's like, what you doing? Nothing. Your white people, like, let me tell you something. All I need you to do is to wake up the dragon that's Dolly Parton. And I'm like, you know what? You brought this on yourself. Let's go. Dolly in it. Wait a minute. Where's Willie? Where Willie Nelson? I'm like, we gonna bring out all the fucking heavy hitters, okay? Where my girl? It's like, what's her name? She was on Grace and Frankie. Why am I blanking on this woman's name? Not Lily Tomlin.
Oh, Jane Fonda.
Yes. Mind you, then people they were like, we will never forget Vietnam. Oh, shut up.
I mean,
up. You are a dumb hoe. Shut.
Girl. Not you're dumb.
You're a dumb hoe. Shut up.
Cause you a dummy, bitch.
You are dumb. Okay, so remember, because you remember the whole thing when she did about passport things, about the whole passport bros and like y'all too busy buying Jordans and not getting passports. And she was like, white people are everywhere. Yeah, but I'm safer from white people in my own fucking home. You, ma'am, did you forget that like little stretch of time where black people were just dying in the Dominican Republic and they literally are not telling us what happened? Oh, they just died of natural causes. Did they know? But you're saying go out there and travel to countries where it's like literally black travel content creators saying this is where black people can or cannot travel. You mean there? Ma'am.
Look.
And then finding out the genesis of that is because that granola ass, red pill ass nigga that you was with said he gonna travel in his brain. I'm like, so everybody gotta get hit because you literally riding a bozo dick?
Hey.
Ma'am.
Shut up. Bozo dick.
I was just saying it because of this. I'm like, you know what's really funny? As smart as you are and as eloquent as you claim to be, you really could have just pointed that out because you were like, oh, girl, so, you were riding bozo dick. That's why you tweeted that shit out. Oh, okay.
Bozo dick. Stop.
Like, girl, you talking about all these niggas that you dated. I'm like, ma'am, it sounds like you are you have a broken pussy.
Oh.
Broken pussy.
Maybe it's really smelly. Broken pussy.
Because you talk about all these whack ass dudes that you allegedly are dating. I'm sorry, did she say Pusha? She used to date Pusha P. Is that one of the, oh, she said so many people. I don't even know. And she called Sarunas Jackson Earthworm Jim. It's like, girl, shut up. That's rude. He is the Monstar from Space Jam. What the hell?
I'm gonna rock with Earthworm Jim for that one.
When she said Earthworm Jim, I said, "Oh Lord, have mercy." Oh yeah. So to give, mind you, we've been here for a while, but to give her a little bit of like, Amanda's completely right on this. Yeah, Shannon, you cannot tell me my experience in elementary school, even though if I'm an asshole and I've been one since school age. If you think that Amanda, who grew up in Florida, the island of Florida in the 1980s, if you think that white woman was not racist, I have a park in New York to sell you. I no longer say a bridge in Brooklyn because of the Hebert. I was like, yeah, nope. I need a different. I'm like, I'm no longer saying that. I got a park in New York to sell you, sir. I know it's the island of Florida, but it's the South. And if you think is because his example of, well, when my grandmama, I'm sorry, did she say her grandmother or her white ass teacher? Which one did she just say? And if you think a white woman in the 1980s, early 90s would be too keen on the only black child in her class correcting her, again, a park in California to sell you. What is wrong with you? It's like, I'm sorry, can y'all only understand instances of racism if it's through the prism of a black man?
Bruh.
Because I'm sorry, no, Amanda had a right to dig in your ass because I'd have been like, well, if I was a black man, would you be questioning my experience or would you just be listening to me?
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, then he would clutch his pearls or his butt cheeks in them tight ass pants if she said that. Amanda, you a gangster. You shoulda. It's like, oh no. It's like, she's right. What she said about Emmanuel Acho is also correct because that man, that's a whole nother episode. The only thing about that I will say is, ma'am, you went out of your way not to misgender Caitlyn Jenner. You could have not went out of your way to mispronounce his Nigerian name. Mm-hmm. Yeah, peep that. It was like, oh, but it's like, ma'am, you went, which, by the way, I'm glad to God you didn't misgender you, because, girl, you would never live that down if you did. You're not wrong to not misgender Caitlyn Jenner. Let me just say that. But I know Emmanuel Acho is a complete and utter buffoon. That if Rachel Lindsay is like, girl, I don't know her, you know you done fucked up now. Because Rachel been keeping it cute on you until you did this shit with Angel Reese.
Oh, well.
And it's kind of like, okay, see, it'd be fun and games if we said, girl, Yvonne Orji like dodged a magazine full of bullets not being with your ass. Could you imagine her attached to the call of Bozo Dick?
Bozo Dick. BBL Drizzay. BBL Drizzay. These him deserve a trophy. I know you say my love. BBL.
Oh my god. When I tell you this has been a fun time, I don't know. It's like, as I say, I can say all like she's a complete maroon. But I should never say, I'm like, oh no, she's a big on panel because she's gonna bring you some shit. She may not understand definitions of words and characters in Greek mythology. Hey, hi. Hubris actually has a definition, and it is not a character in Greek mythology. It's a theme. You dummy bitch. You don't know the words. You don't know the meanings of words. Hubris has a meaning. You see, this is why you see. That's it. That's it. Them bozo dicks that you've been riding, they been jizzing all up and shooting up your club, because then the bozoness go to your brain. Girl, stop swallowing that bozo dick cum. Like, I'm like, shut up right now.
Oh man,
that make me so mad. I'm like, Hubris is a character from Greek mythology. It's a theme, but also, they were using hubris correctly, you buffoon.
No, Black people. Oh. Girl, it's all right. Right. It'll be okay.
She has a whole radio show. So she's not working. When he read her accolades, there's a lot. She has done a lot. She just hasn't done a lot for a long time.
Yeah.
I could say a lot of things as HR, but I'd rather not. I will say, though, I'm kind of glad that Issa ain't said shit.
She don't need to.
She don't need to. Guess what? Because and also Prentice Penny ain't said nothing either. But again, she didn't say his name. Amanda, you had a whole lot to say about a whole bunch of Black people, but praised a white man named Jeff Foxworthy about how you were treated on Bring the Funny. Not saying that you should not give flowers to people who treat you nice, but to juxtaposition that against Black people is very weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this. I'm like, you're like, how y'all like not letting me in these rooms? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. What have you done lately? What have you done for me lately? Do, do, do.
They treat you better, baby.
Mm-hmm. It's like, the thing about it is, like, you don't want to be in this room, but you find it egregious if you're not invited to the room. A room that you don't want to be in?
Mm-hmm.
It's like sweaty niggas who stink. If I'm not invited to locker rooms with sweaty niggas who stink. See how that works?
Oh, Lord.
Ma'am, you have the platform and the reach. It's like you have the fans. You do. Because one is like, you're not totally wrong all the time. You're not totally right all the time either, but you're also entertaining. You're also very smart. But this notion of you deserve to be in every room that you want to be in is super weird and immature. You are over 40 years old. 40, 40. And you survived the island of Florida. That you applause. Because it's like everybody like who from Florida, they be like, girl, we are not staying here. I'm like, City Girls, Dr. Heavenly, Kid Fury, Funky Dineva. They like, oh no, we're leaving.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I am tickled.
I'm just, yeah. I mean, Odell gonna be down there because he's playing for Miami, but I'm pretty sure he'll be down there for the sports, and then he gonna be gone. But you know, he is a cute ass pretty nigga, and you know, he is fun for the weekend. And even he was like, I'm getting away from Kim's crazy ass. She wants to what now? No, I gotta go. Yeah, you do. It's like, ooh, girl.
Oh man, I'm here.
But I have talked a lot, Cook, but do you have any other thoughts about the interview?
What is it, the braids? Honestly, I kind of want to lean into the good that came. And you know, like I said, I just want Amanda to choose Amanda and go where celebrated and want to.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Just go there. And just go there. I promise y'all, it really is okay. Also, if y'all want to learn about neurodivergence, I promise you there are people who talk about this a lot. I promise you there are people who know what they're talking about and can lead you to other places and other resources.
Yeah.
So when I was in Atlanta about a couple of years ago, I met a woman who does moments of joy. She is a mother of an autistic child, and they now do a convention every year. And she also is a wealth of information about programs to assist people who are caring for those on the spectrum. She passes around any other information that she can have that she will divulge because, hey, that's what we do. The other thing is there's a place called Autism in Black. You want to look them up because they have a lot of information too. If you want to learn about neurodivergence, talk to people who actually do the studying and do the work of learning, because it's a lot of learning that you have to do and you have to dig through some stuff. But try to find people who's going to talk about this in the prism of Blackness. Because it's not as just like uniform. It's like, it's not, the studies, she did have a point. When it comes to studies, they're not studying Black people. In the 1960s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, we were just bad. They weren't checking for us.
Yeah.
We had to find people who look like us to go like, no, we need to add this in because intersectionality, thank you for creating this word, is a thing. Because a lot of things happen at the same time. So she wasn't necessarily right, but she wasn't necessarily wrong either. Some of the stuff she was completely right about. Some of it she was right. It's like, oh yeah, she's a Black woman. Like, yeah, they don't study us. Henrietta Lacks forever.
And the thing about it is, you know, what I've learned is that a lot of Black women are not properly diagnosed. Because the thing we learned is that in women, if you ever run into a woman who, you know, we would say, oh, she got an attitude because she seems to always kind of be agitated or always snapping at people. When in reality, that is the way anxiety presents in women. So there are a lot of things that we haven't studied and we don't know. And to a lot of African American parents, especially in the early 80s and 70s during my generation, it was like, I ain't on that shit. I ain't doing that. So now you are just living your life undiagnosed. Or, excuse me, diagnosed but untreated.
Undiagnosed, misdiagnosed, and untreated.
And there are people who've been misdiagnosed by clinicians. You know?
Yeah. It's like, it's kind of like, when she said 10,000, like, it's not 10,000. I'm like, the thing about it is, I don't know how her SAG benefits work. It actually could be, especially when spectrum testing for adults is not a thing that they usually do. So it could be extremely expensive. I don't think she was wrong in saying that. Like, no, that could actually be correct.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what SAG benefits are. I'm like, I don't know what their benefit package look like. Okay. And especially if you're not working all the time. Hello, Kendrick is the one who educated us on that.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to say it didn't cost that much. I'm like, I actually don't know that. So there's that.
It's a process. It's very strenuous.
Yeah. So I think this has been an episode. Ooh. See, that's the thing. I want to know what kind of who her editors was for her podcast. They had all the music. But Cook, I appreciate you. I'm just putting a period on that. And I thank you for being here on the Mocha Minutes podcast. But tell everybody, because y'all, she is coming back. Give her some space. She coming. So if y'all need wait a minute, give me the education on the hippity hops. Yeah, wait till Cook get a hold of y'all. She gonna get you. I'm like,
I got y'all.
He got you because I was like, girl, I'm like, because we're like, I was like, you like years? I'm like, years, years. Like, oh Lord.
Everybody done had something to say about that man. It's just the people weren't listening.
Yeah, count me as the people because I'm like, I did not even know that. I was like, oh. I'm saying it's kind of like I looked at it like if somebody who is usually kind of quiet, don't say nothing, came out here said something like, "Oh, you must have brought this on yourself." I was like, he don't like he with social media. Y'all don't really see him. I'm like, what is this dragon coming out of his cave under the ocean to say? Let me tell your raggedy ass something. Oh, he mad at you. Okay.
I mean, it's just like that nigga did something. What I swear, I'm really trying to find out. I swear to God, I want to know.
But I'm like, girl, he laid your ass out. I'm like, what you do to this man? Because he was like, you raggedy bitch. It's like, oh. He gonna get you, girl. That's a shame.
I'm here for
it. I'm here for it too. Y'all, this has been a Mocha Minutes podcast. I will be back. Cook will be back. Trying to think if I will be recapping. Because I still owe a third part of Potomac, but I'm like, y'all ain't gonna like what I have to say. Probably do though. And then there's Summer House and my favorite problematic white person show, Vanderpump Rules. Still deciding.
Here.
I'm like, I have a one show quota, and that's filled by Pump Rules.
You said the Pump Rules.
I'm just saying the Pump Rules. But y'all, I will be back. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye.